Hi guys, in this video I'll be giving my first impression of this Ninja Foodi. This is model DZ401. It is the 10 quart 2 basket air fryer. I've owned it for a couple of days and I've used it a couple of times thus far just to make some fish and vegetables using one of the modes that they have recommended on here. I wanted to try it out and also just to make some quick finger foods for the kids. I don't know if you would say upgrading. I did wanted something bigger to do a lot more air frying in, since that's what I used my old one for all of the time. But I do, if it is you're coming from a model like this, you do lose the ability to pressure cook, steam, and do like sauces or soups and stuff in this. But I didn't use mine in that way at all. I always used it for just air frying stuff and for making sides. All right, overall I like the machine. I like the functions that it offers. I like that it has the 2 trays, and you can cook more food overall. Now because it's 10 quarts, technically it's 5 quarts in each, but overall you can cook more food. You can use different modes. You can do the smart finish mode, which allows you to start one side say at 20 minutes and another side with something set for 15 minutes, and once this side gets to 15 minutes, this would have been holding, this side would have been holding, and you can do it any side, right? And then they will sync and your meal will finish at the same time. You can use the match cook mode, where you can cook like say 2 batches of fries, same temperature, same time, and they will cook together. You can use 1 tray at a time, or you can use dual zones, where this will be cooking at its own temperature, own time, and then this will be cooking at a separate temperature and separate time. That can be done as well. The only thing is this air broil function, you can only use it on one side at a time. Something about that function, you cannot use the air broil, like you cannot do like match cooking obviously, or smart finish mode, where you're using air broil on both sides. All right, so overall I like the machine. There are a few things that is worth knowing. It a little bit of a concern, but I think that's just the way how they make products now, to be quite honest. So the majority of the machine is plastic. This is the top. It's recommended that you don't put anything on top of here, and also that you leave the vents so that they can breathe properly, right? You have the 2 drawers. Oh, the finishing, this is chrome. This is like a chrome paint, so all of it is plastic. The only parts that are not plastic are the inside basket, just the inside part of the basket, and the crispers, right? Those are in there pretty tight. And as you saw just now, that's another thing I noticed about this one. Even if it's not at the end of a counter, it does tend to tip easily. So you do want to, pay mind to that, all right? So anyway, so these fit in there really snugly, so that if it is you are making something like fries and you want to pull out the basket and pour it out, you can do that without, being concerned that the tray or the crisper, is going to, come out while you're pouring out your food. So in that way, it's pretty cool. The inside, when you pull out the baskets, this is made of plastic as well. The entire inside and the back is all plastic, with the exception of the heating coils. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see that properly in the video, but you have the heating coils there. So I'm not sure how difficult that's going to be when it's time to try to wipe that down ever so often. But there is that. Okay, so to the back, it also is plastic. You have your vents, additional vents there. With regards to the size and the weight, it weighs about 19 pounds with the crispers inside, and without it is about 18 pounds. So it's not that heavy. Actually, it's only just about 1 pound lighter than this one. However, I find that this one feels lighter to carry. I'm not sure why. This one is only 1 pound heavier, but this one, it feels lighter to carry, in case that's important. I think I mentioned the tipping, it does seem, let me push it back a little bit more and pull out the basket. It's just easier to tip over. Hopefully I'm making my point. And my counter is, let me try that again. Right, yes. Okay, and my counter is leveled. All right, just something to take note of. It's not a drawback. It's just something to take note of. All right. What else did I want to mention? Oh, so the only additional accessory that this has that was not included was an air broiling rack that would allow, say for example, if you wanted to do some bacon or you wanted to stack like, you know, 2 or 3 pieces of steak and you wanted to have them breathe all of them to cook evenly, but at the same time not be stacked on top of each other, you can get those racks, and it allows for you to like basically get more use of the space without laying the food directly on top of each other. It's a pity that the rack is not included. It's about, I think it's like $19 and something. However, if you look on Amazon, there's actually a rack that seemed to do pretty well and it fits well. I'm actually going to get it in a couple days, and I think it's like $9. I'm definitely going to be going with those. If it is you are used to using air fryers, probably you already use liners or oh gosh, parchment paper. All these years I've used my old one and I don't know why it is I never used parchment paper with it. That is something that I'll definitely be doing moving forward, because when I used it the other day, I used parchment paper and I used it this morning when I was using it. It makes cleaning up so much easier. So I will definitely recommend using like parchment paper to line it, or like a silicone insert or something when you are using it. All right. With regards to space, they have the measurements online, but I did measure it. You would need about 18 inches in width for space, 14 inches exactly when you take into account the handles. However, it does recommend that you give it 6 inches all around for ventilation. So really and truly, you need about 20 inches in depth for storage, and then in height, about 13.5 to 14 inches in height is how much you would require. I tried out this smart finish mode and I used fish and broccoli because that's what I had on hand to make quickly, and it's a factory setting, and it did cook the food all the way through, but not necessarily to my liking. And the reason why I'm mentioning that is like when you're new to these machines, I find sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming trying to figure out what to cook, how to cook, what temperatures. So the fact that now they have these little suggested times on the machine, I find that to be very useful. So it's worth trying it out, as if you're new to it and you don't know, you know, it's worth trying it out. And then of course you can, you know, up the temperature or the time or down, depending, you know, on how you like your food cooked. So it's definitely useful having, you know, like these set suggested modes and stuff on there already. And I think that is all that I want to share when it comes to this machine. As I said, I do like it. Oh, another thing, these trays, you can replace these. You can replace the crispers, and of course the air broil racks that you can buy. Those are the replaceable components of this machine, right? So anyway, I do like it. I have used it a couple of times. I'm happy with my purchase. I think you should definitely try and see if you can, you know, get a deal on it. But I really do like the machine. Anyway, I'll end this video here. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll talk to you in another one. Bye.